There's inconsistencies on every level, whether it's the environmental assessments, whether it's the stormwater management plans, whether it's the Wallum froglet plans. There is no consistency on the figures, on the surveying for threatened species and the proposed management plans. The fact that they're going to remove 230 trees and 70 hollows, and they're saying they're going to do a 2-to-1 planting ratio of seedlings to replace the loss of these 300-400-year-old trees, and that's adequately going to house these threatened species like koalas and glossy black cockatoos and all the other species that live in these trees. What are they going to do in the meantime? I mean, it takes years, decades for those trees to develop.
So to explain that, the offsets that were allocated back 10 years ago on this project for the koala trees, the core habitat and food trees for both the koala and the glossy black cockatoo that are going to be cut down on this site, which is hundreds of trees, they're going to be replaced with 2 seedlings for each 300 to 400-year-old scribbly gum or 70 to 80-year-old mature Casuarina that are the feed trees for the glossy black cockatoos. Now, it doesn't take a scientist to realise that a seedling is not going to hold the weight of a koala, let alone feed any of them, and that seedlings don't produce mature seed or any food or nectar for the other foraging animals on site. So these days, those same offset arrangements would require at least 8, 10 or even 20 seedlings to be planted, even though as a scientist, most of us would say that is not a valid offset regardless of the number of seedlings. This is actually based on what was done 10 or 12 years ago, where 2 seedlings equal a potentially 400-year-old hollow-bearing tree. And that is not acceptable.